Hiyo everyone, I'm Raven the Goddess, and today is Wisdom Wednesday. First off, I do want to say Happy New Year to everybody. We made it to another year. It's definitely something to celebrate. I do hope, whatever resolutions and plans that you guys have set out for the year, I hope you guys accomplish that and more. Wishing you guys more happiness, more success, and just overall better days, hopefully. In the coming days and months. But today I do have my notes because it's, I just feel like I need my notes today. But anyway, I want to start off with the first thing is I'm going to talk about New Year's resolutions, but a little bit more of my version of that, something a little bit different that I want to share with you guys that I'm doing for my own personal method. So the first part of that, today's episode is entitled RRRR. And no, it wasn't a typo. The R's stand for reflect, release, retain, and renew. And this is something I kind of sat down and created just a few minutes ago, something that I felt that is something significant and symbolic that you can do to help bring in the new year and kind of raise those vibrations and raise that optimism and get you looking forward to what steps you can take, to make your goals, whatever goals that you've made happen for yourself. So the first one of those R's is reflect. Now, what I mean by reflect is, of course, for this purpose, is processing the year. Significant events, positive and negative, sit with those thoughts as they are, not as they're embellished by their significance, but rather just those thoughts as they are, like those facts of what has happened over the past year. Try to focus more so on literal aspects of what's happened, of the way things happen and how they are now. This is important to establish as your foundation for the next step in my recommended process. The next R is release. Let go of everything that doesn't serve you. This is, look, it's obviously easier said than done, right? Because it's fucking just poof, like you can't just do that. But it's important to remember that another year passing with you existing as you are in this realm is a blessing, but it's also a reminder that time is going to keep passing. So if time is moving, then you should too, right? For you to remain stagnant in negativity or lack of growth is basically for your spirit to symbolically die, because growth and progress should be a natural part of the flow of life and how we move through. Even if that growth is not linear, it's still important to make sure you maintain your efforts in achieving that. So sometimes you have to release mindsets and bad habits and perspectives and self-narratives that might hinder that growth. So that's the important part of the second stage of release, is to identify whatever doesn't serve you and get rid of it. You're gonna have to make a dedicated effort to keep it at bay for the initial time. But once it becomes natural to you to remind yourself, even if you have to write down a list for yourself or whatever it is that helps you, and just focus on the importance of that release, because it's definitely something that sets you free and frees up your mental and spiritual energy for other things, more important things. Okay, the third R is retain. So now that you have released what no longer serves you, or now that you've started the process or made the intent, you have to focus on the understanding of the lessons and gifts that you have received through your life's experiences. Remember that part of your purpose is to grow, and it's your responsibility to facilitate that growth by reflecting, releasing what doesn't serve you, and retaining what contributes to that growth. So that's why I say that retention is always, it's like you're cleaning up meat or something, right? You cutting off everything that you don't need, all the fat, all the unnecessary stuff, throw it away, and you're left with what's essential. So that doesn't make that entire experience was necessary in order for you to have a good final result of that, because you put in the work and Now you're left with what's really important to your growth. So that's why retention is important. Not just, a lot of people, they hear let go and they think, oh, I should just become melancholy, or I should just become non-reactive or nonchalant towards life. And that's not what letting go is, because that's shutting down. There's a difference between letting go and shutting down. You don't want to shut down. You want to release, like completely free your mind, your subconscious, of whatever it is that's stopping you or blocking you. So the last of the R's that I came up with is renew. I don't say a lot. Finally, you must understand, if you have an ideal reality for yourself, a New Year's resolution in and of itself is only a small part of what's required. You can't just make a to-do list of things to do and leave it at that, because it's going to feel too much like an obligation. When you say to do, it's like you're forcing yourself, like it's not natural to you. And this is from something that in my study that I've heard others speak on, and I've read on this, and I definitely resonate with it. It's like you're saying, oh, I'm not capable, so I'm just gonna make a list of to-do lists. It's like you're forcing yourself every day because it doesn't come naturally to you. You must become who you want to be, as far as like adopting the lifestyle of whoever it is that you're trying to become. Allow the reflection, release, retention to renew you and provide new insight to what you may need to keep doing or change. So the point of reflect is not to feel bad or not to wallow in sorrow, or, reflect is to look, okay, it's a lot of bullshit, it's a lot of good stuff, but what did I get out of all this? Like, I'm still here, so that means I still have a shot at getting things to be the way I want it to be. What can I do that's, by looking back on the past, that isn't negative? Like, how can I flip that to be something positive for me instead of something that holds me back or hinders me? Renewal requires consistency and dedication. So it's not gonna be like one day, yeah, and the next day, like you might start slipping back into old habits, or you might start slipping back into old ways of thinking. It's something that needs to be practiced daily until it becomes habit, and then until habit becomes a natural part of who you are. So for example, if like for me, I'm gonna be one of the New Year, New Me people in the gym. But the only difference is, I feel like, no, this time I'm gonna follow through, because being fit is, I'm going to integrate being fit into a part of who I am. A part of who I am is someone who is satisfied with their physique and physical health. So for me, that could mean anything, that could mean different things for different people is what I'm saying. But because I declared being satisfied with my physical health and physique as being a part of who I am, that means whatever actions I need to take will be more effortless, because that's the part of who I am. I'm not forcing myself to go to the gym. I'm going to the gym because it's part of my lifestyle. You see the difference of the wording and perspective? It makes it more powerful. So it's like, how can I go against who I am? You know what I mean? So now it's like, fuck, I gotta go to the gym because that's me. Not because I have to, it's on my list to do. You see the difference? But anyway, that's really all I have to say on that. I just kind of was like, what the hell am I talking about? I'm always like, I'll always do that. But I felt like this is a good way to kind of like spice up the New Year's resolution talk, get a little bit more deeper, get into some concepts that may be a little bit more useful, and to kind of like beef up the New Year's resolution concept. But as always, I do appreciate you guys' comments, like, shares, and all the love. I have intentions for the new year as well that I am in the progress of working on it as we speak. I'm making some legal moves as well as some business moves. That's just kind of taking me some time to get them to come into fruition. But what they say, all good things come to those who they, right? Cornball, but I'm going with that. I'm rolling with it because I'm living in it and I'm gonna prove it. But once it's here, it's a wrap. Once it's here, we moving. Okay, trust me. But that's it. Once again, I am Raven the Goddess, and this has been Happy New Year Wisdom Wednesday. Love, light, and